All right, man.
Ugh.
We just go get straight to it, man. Welcome to the Throwdown, man, episode 104. I'm your host, Ben Brandon from the block, where we want to call me, man. Here with another episode. First time on the show. I got my dog Lewis. What's up, Lewis? How you been?
I'm alright. It feels good to talk about sports. I use it as a palate cleanser because I talk about wrestling. I have a page dedicated to wrestling and a page dedicated to
for sure.
cartoons. So
For sure.
it's good to come up here and talk to y'all, man.
For sure. You got any favorite teams?
My favorite basketball team is the Heat. My favorite football team is the Dolphins.
Okay.
But I'm not one of these Dolphins fans that are high as fuck.
Mhm.
I was not satisfied yesterday.
Oh man, we
I
gonna
mean,
talk
Tyreek
about
Hill did get hurt yesterday.
yeah. We'll get we're gonna talk about that. Yo, sports talk. How you been, man?
Man, I'm ready to get back into this, and man, I'm stoked. Got that game tonight, and honestly, win or
Can't
lose
wait.
really doesn't matter. Since when we were on our bye week, everyone else below the Chiefs lost. So seeding wise, this game really doesn't mean that much to the Chiefs. It means a lot more to the Eagles actually. So yeah, I'm ready to get going.
I bet. Yo, champ, how you been, man?
How you doing, man? Enjoying this weather. Thank you for always having me, brother.
PSP, how you been, bro?
Man, that was an ass whipping the Giants gave us.
At least he
Puking
honest.
and drinking the entire Sunday. That's what I did.
That's tough, man. Bro, and last but certainly not least, got my dog Braun. How you been, man?
I've been feeling good. Got big game tonight, but also shout out my friend. His baby girl was born this morning at about 3 a.m. So Dan, congratulations, brother.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's
what's up.
That's fine.
That's what's up, man. For sure. But yeah, man, let's get straight to it, man. Y'all see the title? Free Justin Herbert. Chargers, man. The Chargers, man, they just let you down every single time. They lost to the Packers 23-20. Justin Herbert played a great game, but there were two drop passes by Keenan Allen, and the rookie Quentin Johnson missed the important drop pass. What's your thoughts about the game? And what should Justin Herbert do in this instance?
I mean,
Demand a trade.
I mean, yeah. Besides for the trade, I mean,
Actually has a brain. He would fire Brandon Staley.
that should have been happen. I don't understand
That
why he's
happened
been
a
a
long
coach
time ago after that playoff
this
game.
year. And also, I mean, you mentioned Quentin Johnson and Keenan Allen. Let's not forget Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler has been trash too.
Slow as fuck on that
And
run.
you know when
He's a fullback. He's a fullback.
yeah, I mean,
Justin
he was
Herbert,
running
Justin
like
Herbert,
2015 Eddie Lacy there. I mean, it was really bad to watch, man. And this whole team, the defense, Brandon Staley's getting mad at reporters for asking if he's going to keep calling the defensive plays when you're ranked 32nd in the league right now. I mean, it's like you're a defensive coach that doesn't know how to coach defense. You got Khalil Mack lining up in man coverage. I mean, like what are we doing? And other than that, I mean, this team is so dysfunctional. It has so much talent. For the amount of talent this team has, they should easily have 6 wins right now, 7 wins right now.
Yeah.
But because of incompetency at multiple levels, this team's going to remain horrible. I mean, it's just one of those things where this franchise is just always found ways to lose, and it's going to continue to find ways to lose, and they're going to waste Justin Herbert. And if I were him, I'd request a trade. Now, do I think they're going to let him go? No. However, I mean, if you're Keenan Allen, I don't want to hear the Keenan Allen top 10 talks anymore. You get hit square in the chest twice.
Yeah.
I mean, like in the sternum.
Yeah.
Ball bounced off of him and went 5 yards. You can't do any better than that. Quentin Johnson, you're a bust. I mean, you're just a bust. I don't know how else to put it. You get hit right in the hands. Game winner. Every kid dreams about this. And you just dropped it practically twice. And then Austin Eckler, I don't even want to start with him. I mean, the slander about him has been real for about a year now.
Bro, watching him run is like watching Najee fucking Harris run. Like, y'all slow as shit, yo. Like, it's so bad.
I did like the Eddie Lacy comparison, though.
You know that Justin Herbert led the Chargers in rushing yesterday?
That's what?
That's
Yeah.
sad.
He's
How
playing.
many
he's
yards
having-
he have?
They're
73.
forcing, they're forcing him to play more like Josh Allen right now, and
Yeah.
Justin Herbert really doesn't use his legs like that as much as he honestly should.
No,
But
he's a pocket
still, you don't want to turn him into a Josh Allen type because Josh Allen's career is going to get cut short because of that. If
Yeah.
you're the Chargers, you have the talent around him, but for some reason, they're sponsored by Butterfingers and they can't catch Jack. I mean, it's horrible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I think he should demand a trade.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I
Think about it.
Okay.
He's gonna
come
be in
out.
that division for 10 plus however long is. Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere.
Nope.
He's about 2.5 years older than Justin Herbert. Andy Reid still is trying to make a case for the GOAT head coach. Meanwhile,
Mhm.
Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. So if
Yeah.
I'm Herbert, I leave. Outside of the money in Los Angeles, give me one good reason why I should be there.
I think for me, I'm not even gonna look as far as Mahomes. You're in the same division that we dropped 70 on, and they just won 4 straight, and they're figuring it out. Like it's like Denver feels more like in the playoff hunt than the Chargers do,
Yeah.
and that's fucking terrible.
Dude,
Mhm.
I'd say the Raiders too, even though they lost yesterday.
No, the Raiders are. I told folks
Like,
Josh
as soon
McDaniels
as
should
the
have
Raiders
never been a head
promoted-
coach to begin with.
As
And
soon as the Raiders promoted Antonio Pierce, they somewhat, and I say this again, like not as much of an exaggeration, but somewhat have gotten their shit together.
Yeah.
yeah, that's called coaching.
He's a
And
player's
Champ
coach.
and I, we talked about this. They fire Antonio Pierce. They let him go. That's the same mistake that they made with Richie
That's whatever
Bisaccia,
the
the
hell is
interim
that.
head coach who took over for John Gruden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Champ, what's your thoughts?
Isn't it safe to say, and this is a question for the entire panel, isn't it safe to say that the Chargers have not had a coach since Marty Schottenheimer? Isn't that safe to say?
No,
And
North Turner?
because you're forgetting North.
North was an offensive coordinator, glorified offensive coordinator. The last true head coach that they had was Marty Schottenheimer. And to be honest with you, they never should have fired Marty Schottenheimer after he went 14-2. But I digress on that. Isn't it another safe assumption to say that they've had some of the best quarterbacks that we have ever seen, but yet they've never done anything once they had them? They've had Dan Fouts at one point. This is just the San Diego franchise as a whole. They've had Dan Fouts. They've had Drew Brees. They've had Phillip Rivers. Now they have a next generation talent in Justin Herbert. Or they're going to waste it. I mean, the only person that really came out of that situation for the better was Drew Brees because, I hate to say that he lucked out, but he lucked out with the shoulder injury. And as a result, he got another coach in Sean Payton. And they weren't able to waste his career like they did with Dan Fouts and Phillip Rivers. Yeah. And think about, and that's just the quarterbacks that they have. Think about the wide receivers they had. Think about the tight ends that they have. Think about the defensive players that they've had. They have arguably been one of the best drafting teams, arguably in NFL history, but yet they have no Super Bowls to show for it.
Right.
Yeah, think about it with Phillip Rivers.
Go elsewhere to find success.
I mean, think about it with Phillip Rivers. I mean, he had 2 first ballot Hall of Famers, LT and Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
And you only managed to get to
he was
one
throwing to
AFC
Vincent
championship
Jackson.
game.
Yeah.
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 And
And
just
I
like
think about
the one
Go
seed twice, and you choked against the Patriots in 06.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't even want to say choked. They shat the bed in 09
Against the Jets.
I believe. Wasn't that the season where they had the number 1 ranked offense and defense?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's
At that time, yes. And
drastic.
North Turner did a great job as far as with the offense. Phillip Rivers was putting up numbers. That was also the year Peyton won his 4th MVP.
Mhm.
And the Jets beat them. By the way, the Jets beat the Chargers. Remember 2004, 2005 with Drew Brees there. And then again in 09 and 10.
Yeah. Sure did. Anyone else got things to say on Brian? On Lewis?
The Chargers.
Yeah.
The Chargers are just like the most frustrating team because on paper, like how Roundup, I don't mean to like necessarily call him out, but like Roundup, for example, in the preseason when we did our show, he said the Chargers are going to win the AFC West. Then they consistently shit the bed, and it's like you're trying to defend Justin Herbert. You're trying to defend really just Justin Herbert. and then it just gets harder and harder each week by how like shit their performances are.
But can we agree that with Justin Herbert's scenario from like yesterday and what we've seen from this team, that like wins is not a quarterback stat? Doesn't this prove that wins are not a quarterback stat for this reason?
I mean,
He can go out there and have a damn near perfect game, and yet it's his fault somehow. Like, how does that work?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about with
touchdowns
Matthew
dropped.
Stafford.
Yeah, what you were saying about with their wide receiver drops, man. I don't know what they're. Are we sure? What are they putting on their gloves? Stick 'em or KY jelly? That shit is slippery as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly,
bacon grease, probably. Bacon grease.
Chicken grease.
I mean, what I just don't like understand. It's like this is a completely different team than what like I saw in week 1 when they played us. Like they were Austin Eckler was insane. Keenan Allen was insane. And now it just seems like do you guys have that? Like, I don't know if you guys have this, but I usually get an aura like they just don't want to be on the field anymore.
Yeah.
Type thing.
It's always the last drive of the game. They always have a chance to win the game, and then everyone just loses their minds.
Oh my God.
The offense has never played football. The offensive line no longer knows how to block. Players don't know how to catch. People are fumbling the ball anywhere. I'm like, that is a direct symbol of coaching, because you were supposed to have a 2-minute drill installed for the end of the game for this reason. And they have not won. I don't think they've won a single game where they had a game-winning opportunity.
No, I don't think so.
Either that or they only won one. And they've pretty much had it in every single game. And you have the personnel to do it, yet when they go out there, it's like they have no game plan. It's like they're just saying, hey, Herbert, good luck.
Yeah, man. But free Justin Herbert, man. Hope he goes to my Seahawks. I would love to have him on my team.
Hey, Brandon, can I ask a question?
What up, PSP?
Do you think it's time for the Chargers to move back to San Diego?
They should have never moved to LA.
Yeah, they should have never left.
Never moved to LA. They should have never moved to LA.
Oh, the franchise started out by playing 1 year in LA. Motherfucker, your whole history is in San Diego. Shut up.
We don't even got to stop at the Chargers. I don't even know why the Rams went either. What the hell?
The Rams had history in Los Angeles dating all the way back to the 70s and the 60s. So I can understand them moving back. And because, the original owner, I think Mrs. May, I forget her full entire name. She had roots in Los Angeles. So plus Los Angeles was in there back in the 90s.
The Rams they didn't start in LA.
But then also you had the Raiders there. Like why are we cycling through teams in LA? No one likes this city. Well,
exactly.
They don't like their own teams. They don't care. They have the Lakers. That's all they care about.
LA loves a winner. LA loves a winner. You have to win. When you are in LA, you have to win. Yeah. That is the reason why the Oakland Raiders did not last in Los Angeles. They had their one magical year in the Super Bowl. After that, then you had the turmoil with Al Davis between him and Marcus Allen. You had him trying to move to Andersville, I think. And then you had him moving to the Alameda Coliseum. You had a whole lot of drama in Los Angeles with the Raiders. And that's the reason why. Los Angeles loves a winner. That's how come they literally said F them picks and went and got all those draft picks so they can rear real fast.
But then at the same time, you look at LA, I think if you did a survey, majority of them would say that they're either Raiders fans or they're Cowboys fans because their training camp is in Oxnard. Other than that, really no one cares about the Chargers. They only cared about the Rams that one season that they won the Super Bowl. Now it's just meh. But the Chargers are like the Clippers and the Angels.
Fraudulent.
This is how I explain it. It is called LBS, Little Brother Syndrome. No matter how successful they are in this city, they will never be more viewed. They'll be overshadowed by the other team. Like, oh my God, Chargers won the Super Bowl. Yeah, well, the Rams they went 10-7 and made the wild cards.
Well, for the Clippers, it's kind of impossible when your big brother is the grand champion of the whole league.
We can apply the same logic to the Nets and the Knicks.
That's what's going on.
about the Nets
and the Nets and the Yankees.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. We're gonna move on to the next game, man. The Texans beat the Cardinals 21-16. CJ Stroud had 2
That was great.
touchdowns. Yeah,
Didn't
but
play particularly well.
he had
He did
3
not look good.
interceptions as well. Kyler Murray looked pretty well. Like I said, PSP, I'm gonna say it again. He's better than T-Law.
Yes.
He's better than T-Law.
Granted, T-Law
I wouldn't go that far just yet.
T-Law had a good
Better
game
than T-Law.
yesterday, but a healthy Kyler.
But he had a good game, but it was against the Titans. And even though I haven't been impressed with T-Law all season long, I'm not going to go as far as saying Kyler over T-Law. Once again, Brandon, that's just your way of trying to take a shot at Trevor Lawrence. Don't be slick about it.
I'm not.
But back to CJ Stroud. The
Oh,
first
hold
half,
on,
he was.
hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on, PSP. Shout out to Tank Dell though. 8
Oh,
receptions,
yeah, no question.
149 yards, and a touchdown. But PSP, keep going, man. What you got to say?
CJ didn't play particularly well in the second half. The first half, that one pick, that was on him. The second one, I thought was more on Robert Woods. That third one, when he was throwing off his back foot, yeah, that's on him in that situation. The past 2 games, CJ Stroud has been struggling taking care of the football. He's committed 5 turnovers. 2 against the Bengals, the interception and the fumble, and then 3 picks in yesterday's game against the Cardinals. And they got some big games at home these couple of weeks because they got Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's looking to get revenge at them considering the fact that the Texans beat them at Jacksonville. And then after that, the Broncos. They've won 4 consecutive games against the Packers, Chiefs. They also beat the Vikings yesterday, and they also beat the Bills on Monday Night Football.
Russell Wilson looks revived too. Like
we'll go get to that. Yeah, we'll go get to that.
Yeah, Russ has looked good. CJ, look, should he still be in the discussion for MVP? I don't think he will win it because politics, and he's a rookie, so you have to factor that. Unfortunately, you could still make an argument for him to win it because again, he does play the best. He plays the most valuable position, quarterback. But just really disappointed with CJ's performance. But I told y'all, the Houston Texans, they're going to be a team in the years to come with D'Amico Ryans, with the head coach, the former defensive coordinator for the 49ers, and they're loaded. Not just Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. They also have Nico Collins. Noah Brown, unfortunately, didn't play, and before yesterday, he had back-to-back 100-yard performances. So they're loaded. And you've already come to the conclusion, Brandon, CJ Stroud is better than Trevor. You said that. I've said that.
Yeah.
So, big ups to Houston. As for Arizona, they had opportunities to win that game, and for whatever reason, they just couldn't do it, especially in the red zone. So, that's all I got to say.
Gannon goes brain dead in the fourth quarter. I've been saying.
Sports Talk, what you got to say about the game?
I think when people talk about CJ Stroud in the MVP race, I think it kind of comes down to how I almost look at Jaden Daniels at LSU, and maybe a better comparison would be like Russell Westbrook when he was winning his MVP and he was the 6th seed. I think that's the same reason why CJ Stroud won't get his if he was, possibly even a front runner, is if you're not for MVP, there's almost like an asterisk next to it, where it's like you have to be the best player on the best team. That's the only way you could be the most valuable. When that doesn't make any sense. And CJ Stroud's kind of the embodiment of that because we know what this team looks like without him. They're 3-13. We know what they look like. You take him off this team and put Davis Mills back in there, you will not win 3. You won't win 5 games, let alone how many they're going to win. And so with this game, I think regardless of how CJ Stroud played this last game, the MVP frontrunner was going to come out of the Chiefs-Eagles game. If whoever wins the Chiefs-Eagles game, Mahomes or Hurts, was going to become the frontrunner for MVP. It was inevitable. There's nothing he could have done about that unless he would have went out there and had 7 touchdowns and 600 yards passing. It did not matter because when you have the 2 top teams from both conferences playing each other, and they're both relatively in that conversation, it's gonna lean to that game and those 2 players, right? Because CJ Stroud's just not in those meaningful games like that because his team is not built quite yet for that. So should he be in that conversation? Absolutely. I don't think he should be first. I think there are still guys that are ahead of him. But as far as the game itself, I think Kyler Murray has shown that he could still be a franchise guy from last week and this week. Do I still think that they should trade him? Kind of. I think they get more value that way. Although now that they've played him, I think there's a lot of contract.
He said,
no, sports talk. I'm just laughing because the reason why I'm laughing because Champ and I, we've had this discussion. I've said Kyler to Atlanta. He said no for multiple reasons. One, the cap situation. And two, if your ass didn't study in Arizona, what the hell makes you think you're going to study in the ATL?
My sentiments exactly. And I was just about to say that. Atlanta just got out of cap hell when it came to Matt Ryan's contract and Julio Jones. And come to find out, I did a little bit of digging. We just got through playing. We just not got finished with Roddy White's contract.
What?
Yeah. That's how much we had on the books at this point.
Hey, you could just I know you hate this team, Champ, but you guys could just take notes from the New Orleans Saints of how to figure out how to get the hell out of cap hell.
Exactly. But the thing is, we just got out of cap hell. So why would you bring in, especially how deep these next two quarterback classes in the draft is going to be deep as hell, for lack of a better term. They are deep. You can find and not to mention, I would rather bring in a younger quarterback like Justin Fields, who's not going to cost me as much. So why would I bring in a guy with a history of injury, number one, a guy that's going to put me in cap hell, number two, and number three, guess what? I still don't know your study habits. I mean, it doesn't matter how many people you try to come at on the internet. It's still a question of if you study. Yeah, I don't care how many times you say, well, I work hard. Hey, it's kind of like what we say down south. You got to show us.
Not everybody lying.
Everybody ain't lying. So why would you want to put your team in the cap hell for ticket sales? It doesn't. As players like Mike Vick and everybody else prove, what put asses in seats does not necessarily translate into Super Bowl wins. And that has been Atlanta's problem over the years. They want to, especially before Arthur Blank, when Rankin Smith was in charge, when the old owner was in charge. They were too possessed with putting butts in the seats rather than winning Super Bowl. And that's what you saw as a result of that 1998 team. Went to the Super Bowl the very next year, you win 2 games because you didn't build on that. And then 2 years later, you still picking first overall. So that's what the thing is. You don't want to put your team in a situation like that. And this is a young team. This is a very young team. This is not a veteran team. Yeah. Now, if this is a veteran team, yeah, you might want to make a win now situation in order to get you a quarterback. But this is a very, very young team. Build through the draft. Make sure you are below the cap. Get you some free agents like you did this year to make you a top-ranked defense like you did earlier in the year. Not so sure if that defense is top 5 now, considering all the points we've been giving up. We've been giving it up like chicken feed the last couple of weeks. But the thing is, you have to do that in order. Don't just make a desperation situation because of how it is now. You have a deep quarterback class coming up. You have a couple of young guys that you could trade for out there in the market right now. And like I said, you don't never know what's going to happen. If you're going to bring in any type of veteran quarterback, go get somebody who you know that's going to study, that's going to do. Go get Kirk Cousins. Go get him.
Or Josh Dobbs.
But go get one of those guys who are proven. Don't go get some guy who has history of injuries, a huge contract to put you in cap hell, not to mention question about him studying. Don't bring that to Atlanta. That's the last thing you need.
I don't know. That fits Atlanta pretty well. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That fits Atlanta pretty well.
I think you're trying to raise Champ's blood pressure.
Coming from there's no way I'm finna go from Matt Ryan, a guy who we knew was studying and working hard, to a Kyler Murray. No way, no way, no how. No way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Lewis, anybody else want to talk about CJ?
I personally think CJ Stroud throwing 3 picks and still overcoming with the win shows how well coached DeMeco Ryans is actually doing for the Texans team. And this is something that they've been missing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we all know once a quarterback throws 3 picks, usually that's game over. But
Yeah.
what D'Amico Ryans is doing, rallying his guys and leading them to a win, I mean, there's nothing more you can ask for. Like, you found your franchise coach.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Wait, hold on. One last thing. Do we all agree? I'm not saying CJ's the MVP, but is it fair to say offensive rookie of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Locked
shit was
up.
wrapped up like 3
Locked
weeks
up,
ago.
yeah.
I will say Brandon clipped what I said about CJ Stroud last week, and a lot of people did not understand the context. Also, because you didn't post the full clip either. But should he have been in the conversation? Yes, but will he win it? No.
That's what it said on the clip, though. I don't know why they didn't
No,
get it.
people are like, oh. No, I literally read comments. Everyone's like, oh, bro's fucking tripping, this and that. I'm like,
You were taken out of
Everybody's a
context.
critic nowadays, brother. Everybody is a critic.
Right, you were taken out of context.
Bro,
Yeah.
bro, it happens all the time. Like on my page, you saw I put top 5 favorite DreamWorks movies, keyword favorite, and somebody's like, "How come this movie ain't on here?" It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, that's their favorite.
It's my favorite.
I said favorite, bro.
Kind of
Like,
it's kind of like somebody telling me, "Hey," it's kind of like me saying, "Hey, man, I love chocolate candy on Halloween. How come you don't like candy corn?" It's my damn favorite.
Yeah, man.
it's not like if you were having a debate since you brought up like Halloween. It's not like we had a debate where I'm like, oh, Reese's is the goat of Halloween candy, and everyone's like, no, this and that, and then it's like you can actually fucking debate that shit. But
bro, people on TikTok, like you can be like, yo, like I really like peanut M&Ms, and then somebody would be like, but you don't like Skittles? I didn't fucking say that, bro. Like, I didn't say that. Like,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next game. Sunday night football, man. The Broncos beat the Vikings 21-20. Shout out to Josh Dodds. He's been doing great with the franchise and stuff like that, holding it down for Kirk. And it's without Jetters. Hopefully Jetters get back healthy next week. But Russell Wilson, man, this was vintage Russ, man. I ain't gonna lie, I almost shed a tear, bro, watching Russell Wilson out there with that touchdown, bro. Oh my God. Brought back memories. I just want to hear from the panel. Is Russell Wilson top 10 quarterback? Is he a top 10 quarterback this season?
damn.
If he is, he's like 10. But I don't think he's higher than that, really.
Dude, have I even ranked?
Probably 10 or
top
11.
10?
10 or 11.
Have I even ranked the
And
10? Hold on.
he's a candidate for comeback player of the year, I believe.
Ooh.
If he can get this team to a wild card position in the playoffs. And I believe that if he's able to, that's going to automatically put Sean Payton in the conversation for coach of the year as well. Because last year,
if we're being honest, they're really the way that this team is playing right now, the front runner for coach of the year should be Dan Campbell.
Yes.
If we're being blatantly honest.
yeah.
What about Mike McDaniel?
Please, no.
What about dude
no.
from D'Amico Ryan from Texans?
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans has.
I think he probably should get it, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give it to Dan Campbell.
No, but
because-
Brandon, if we want to do if
thing
Russell
is,
Wilson's a
because-
top 10 quarterback, I can list off the names and we could see if you know who people are taking.
Okay, go ahead. Sports.
All right.
Reel 'em off, sports.
Then I'll go back to
Are we assuming when healthy too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like right now,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna like. Okay, I'll throw Kirk Cousins in there, but like
That's
whatever.
what I
you
was
get the point.
thinking.
So
Yeah.
like Tua, are you taking Tua? Are you taking Tua over Russell Wilson?
At this point, I'm taking Tua.
I'm taking two.
See, I'm just gonna start out hot. I mean, like that's where
It's
that's where the
close.
line's at. That's
It's close.
right where depending on where you have Tua, Josh Allen, I'm taking above him. I'm taking
Yeah, Allen.
Mahomes above him. I'm taking
Yeah.
Herbert above him. I'm taking Lamar above him.
Jalen Hurts.
Joe Burrow. I'm taking him.
Mhm.
T-Law. Are you taking T-Law?
I
Or
go
Wilson.
T-Law. I go T-Law.
You
about
want to
Jalen
say
Hurts?
Russ? Just say Russ. You
I
know you
want to
want
say
to.
Russ, but I go
All right.
T-Law.
CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud.
CJ.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
CJ.
CJ Stroud.
CJ.
Broad, are you keeping track of how many people that is?
That's like 6 or 7 you've mentioned.
Okay, so we'll go back over. Tua,
Mhm.
Josh,
shit.
Mahomes, Herbert,
Lamar.
Tua, Josh,
Burrow,
Herbert,
and then
Lamar,
Stroud
Burrow.
and
Stroud.
T-Law. So right there is 9 alone, and we're not even in the NFC yet. So you got Hurts, Dak.
Ooh.
I think Hurts is above him. I think Dak is where it's questionable.
What about Jared
I
Goff?
go.
I think
Nah,
Murray,
I'd
Kyler
rather
Murray's
have
in that.
Russ.
It
Kyler
stops
Murray's
right
in
there.
that
It
realm.
stops right there.
I'd
stops right
rather
there.
have
How about Kirk
Russ than
Cousins?
Jared Goff.
Yeah,
I'll take Kirk Cousins.
Jared
Yeah.
Goff.
Kirk was cooking this season.
Yeah,
Kirk
What about
was
Jared
cooking this
Goff?
season.
What about Jared Goff?
Nah,
I got Russ.
I'd rather have Russ.
I
Would you
find
take
it
Russ or
crazy
Brock
that you're-
Purdy?
That
Russ.
you're willing to take
I'm
Trevor
taking
Lawrence,
Russ.
I'm
but
taking
not
Russ.
Jared
Russ.
Goff. That's
I look-
crazy.
That is crazy.
That is insane to me.
What? Wait, what?
That you would take
That you'd
T-Law,
take
but
T-Law.
not Jared Goff. When Jared Goff's been better. Like, what are we doing?
I don't know, bro.
Like, what are we doing?
Look at-
I don't
Harrison,
know,
bring
bro.
out the meme.
Sports
I don't
talk.
know,
Would
bro,
you take
because
Sports
T-Law-
talk? If I gave you a choice between Russ or Brock Purdy, would you take Russ?
Russ.
I'm taking Russ.
When you consider especially the teams, yeah, I mean, so this is for Brandon. I mean, I don't know what's going on right now, but like,
Yo, Iggy, where you at?
Bro, you know, I want to say Russ over T-Law so bad though, bro.
No, Brandon, you
I
heard
was
it.
the Russ over
You
T-Law so bad, bro.
trying too hard, man. You trying too hard. You trying too hard, man.
PSP, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I think
dog.
we're having
you got
Trevor
the
Lawrence.
Lawrence. I mean,
think
you
we're
got
having
that
Trevor
Oregon
Lawrence
t-shirt
syndrome right now.
What are you gonna say next? Bo Nick's gonna win the Heisman? Is that what you
Hey,
gonna
he
tell
can.
us?
He can.
You know,
He can.
I mean, that's
goes
not
through
too
my
far
head.
fetched. We want to be honest with it.
PSP, the only thing going through my head right now is the Kevin Hart. No.
Hey,
But Chef, I thought you
Hello?
said you were
Hello?
gonna go
Hello?
with Jalen Daniels.
I'm going with Jaden Daniels. That's my shoe in to win the Heisman. But you got to look at Bo Nick's stats. I think he had did he have 7 touchdowns this past weekend?
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's six. Yes, six.
Six.
Hey, Brandon.
And leads the NF the lead college in yard not yards QBR. There you go. QBR.
To
Brandon.
the point
Yeah,
in
'cause-
which Brandon, after that loss
because
against
you know,
Washington, wanted to go Will Smith mode and smack the kicker.
Mhm.
There you go.
Right. There Harrison.
Duke sucks. Oh,
That's
Brandon,
crazy.
come on, don't say that. We get it. You're a Carolina fan, bro.
It's over. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It's over. Hey, Harrison,
But
how's that first seed in the NFC South going?
Oh man.
How's that,
Oh man.
how's
Oh,
that
man.
second seed going?
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
How's that
we
going?
knew that. We knew that.
Harrison, what I tell you. I
Why
told
do you
you
have a
you'd be
massive
lucky
forehead,
to get third.
Hold on.
I told you you're going to end fourth in that division.
Can we
Brandon,
stop talking
you know
about
that you watch.
what's the topic? What's the
Hold on,
topic?
Brandon, if you watch all that digital, because you just reminded me so much of Doughboy doing this.
Oh man, but the topic on Harrison, was about Russ.
He's back. He's 100% back. He's playing like Russ, like he's like
Yes,
himself
we'll get
again
there.
in Seattle. I mean, is it crazy to say that? Can they make the playoffs?
No. I
No,
think they could get closer, but I don't think they're. I just don't think this is going to last that long.
That's shocking to me, though.
I
It's
mean,
shocking how the Broncos, how well they've been playing so far, and then the Chargers. I know we talked about them earlier. Ugh, my God.
I say they have a
Yeah,
higher
bro.
chance of making the playoffs than the Chargers at this point.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
Chargers-
the Chargers, they're done. They got to fire Brandon Staley.
They gotta fire Brandon
I will
Staley
give Sean
or Herbert
Payton
gets out of there.
this though. The defense, they look better compared to previously how they started the season. I mean, not just that Miami game in which they gave up 70 points. Even though they won the game against Chicago, their defense was just awful that game. Justin Fields was just torching them up. These past 4 games in which they've won, they've gotten INTs. Josh Allen, he got 2 picks on Josh Allen, 2 picks on Patrick Mahomes, a pick on Dobbs, a pick on Jordan Love. So the defense has been playing very well so far compared to how they started off the season. Russ, I think he has that best touchdown to interception ratio, 19 touchdowns to only 4 picks. So Russ is playing good, solid football. So as long as they can do that, they still have a chance. So
Go ahead. I was about to say I'll give the next couple games and then y'all let y'all decide if they can win them or not.
mhm.
The next game they got the Browns.
Yeah.
They could.
That's going to be tough.
They could. It'll be a scrap fest, but they could.
yeah.
Wait,
I
champ,
see it
is
get
it at
low
the Browns
scoring, though,
or
like-
at Denver?
They're a mile high.
Okay.
All right, the next game they have the Texans in Houston.
They could.
They could win that one.
They could.
Then the next game they have the Chargers in in Los Angeles.
Just say San Diego. We're
Yeah.
used to them saying San Diego.
I think they could. They could. It wouldn't be out of the.
Then they have the Lions the very next week.
Nah, they get stopped.
They're gonna have to score some points in order to do that.
Yeah, the line.
The last three games are very, very winnable. They have the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Raiders. The last three games. So I think they can cook them last three games. It's just the games previously that's going to dictate it.
I think they split with the Chargers. I think they beat New England, and then I think they lose to the Raiders.
I got the Raiders winning that one.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
Yeah,
I actually predicted that the Raiders was going to beat Miami. I'm actually shocked it was that close of a game, though.
I would took the Raiders plus 13.5, if I'm being honest.
I'm surprised they held them they held them to like 21 points. Then
20.
20.
they held them to 20 points. They the highest scoring offense in the league. So yeah.
This is why I disagreed with Sports Talk when he brought up like Mike. I don't know if it was Sports Talk, but it was somebody that said Mike McDaniel for Coach of the Year. This is why I say, because Mike McDaniel, like I love him.
No, I said that.
But you said that. The main problem with Mike McDaniel is situational football. He does not exceed on executing the plays when he really needs to. When we got the ball back on the 2-minute warning, we couldn't get a fucking first down. Like that's a situation where if we get the first down, we win. We don't give them the ball back at all. We don't have to rely on Jalen Ramsey to go back to his Jacksonville form and do these crazy ass plays. Like Mike McDaniel has done this numerous times. He did that last year with the Bills, where in the first half against the Bills in that snowy ass game, he ran the entire first half with Raheem Mostert. Close ass game. Raheem was running all over him. The entire second half, abandoned him. And then
I think the reason why the game was closer is because when you look at the Raiders now compared to what they previously were, I said it all before. Josh McDaniels should have never been the head coach.
No, and I'm more crediting the Raiders for actually doing good because I'm not satisfied with the win. Interim head coach, we got an interim head coach, sloppy on offense. Tua, despite what the stats say, he was missing throws, he was missing reads.
I thought for the most part he was inconsistent in that game.
Yeah.
But I got to give a lot of credit to the Raiders. Yeah. Like I said before, if they let go of Antonio Pierce and they hire somebody else, the same exact guy like a Josh McDaniels, the Raiders, to me, they're not learning anything from their mistakes.
No.
Right. But yeah, man. Next topic we're gonna talk about. I got a few. We're gonna play a little game here. I call it facts or cap. I got some statements here, and I'm gonna ask y'all is facts or cap, man. So I got some little statements here. So Sports Talk, we are gonna talk about the Bengals, and here's a statement right here. The Bengals are finished without Joe Burrow. Facts or cap?
I said this before they lost Joe Burrow. I've been saying this since week 2. They're cooked. They're cooked. I predicted them to lose the first 2 weeks. They are cooked. They lost Jesse Bates. Their defense is not good enough. The only thing they can do is have Sam Hubbard running around breaking people's ankles. That is the only way they're winning these games. Burrow's been trash half the year, and now he's gone.
Good.
Bro, I've been saying for weeks they weren't gonna make the playoffs. Now it's set in stone. It's done. Cooked. Finished.
Okay. Champ?
Facts
or cap?
Fact. Okay. But there is a little bit of a silver lining to this. Because they're going to lose T. Higgins next year to free agency.
Probably.
Uh-oh.
So here's something that they can do, because more than likely they're going to end up in at least like the top 15 in picks. Do they do what my Atlanta Falcons did years ago while they still have Jamar Chase and trade up to get Maserati Mar? Do they make a trade like that in order to put them directly back into in order to immediately replace T. Higgins and to bring that receiving core some star power.
So let me
Bring
ask
T.
you this.
Higgins
So
So
home.
let me ask you this: Who are
Bring
you
him
trading to
home.
get up there? Who are you trading to get up there?
Trade a first and a third.
First and a third?
Yeah, that's what we traded in order to get Julio Jones. We traded a first and a third. Matter of fact, we traded a first, a seventh, a
Where was
first, a
Julio
seventh, and a
at?
fourth.
What pick? What pick
We-
was
he
He
Julio
was the
at?
sixth. He was the sixth overall pick in that draft.
6th overall pick in that draft.
Yeah, the 2011 draft. First was Cam Newton. Second was Von Miller. Third was Marcel Darius. Fourth was AJ Green. Fifth was Patrick Peterson. Sixth was Julio.
Yeah, and we traded a first,
Man, that
a
shit was
first, a
stacked.
fourth, and a seventh in order to get Julio. I
That
can
was a really
see,
good
Wow.
draft class.
yeah, I can see them trade. If they are able to do that in order to replace T. Higgins, because they're not going to be able to get anybody in free agency, so they're going to have to bank on the draft for the next at least 4 to 5 years.
Mhm.
So wouldn't that, like, in the next couple of years put them in the same situation they're in now? So eventually you're gonna have to give Jamar more money, and then eventually you're gonna have to give Marvin Harrison more money. So, like, wouldn't it be repetitive to try to keep recycling if you're not going to get, like, the results that you want?
That's a valid point.
Well, they're going to
That's
have
the thing.
Marlon. They're going to
For the
have Marlon
Bengals,
at least
though,
for 5 years.
They
And the
don't
Bengals-
need.
I don't
They don't
remember
need
the
another wide
Bengals-
receiver. They don't. They need to get defense. They need
Yeah.
offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Bro, Joe Burrow's on the brink of becoming the next Andrew Luck.
He got
They
sacked
got it.
more times than, like,
Yeah, they have to
145 in
protect-
52 games.
They've been putting this money into this offensive line. Either they need a new offensive line coach, they need a new head coach, they need something. They gotta protect Burrow. This has
They have
happened
to. They have to invest players
continuously.
in the draft.
He's not
Mhm.
injury. I don't think Joe Burrow's injury prone. I think he's O-line prone because it is just like a revolving door where it's like you get a sack, you
He's
get a
had
sack,
2 freak
you get.
accidents so far.
Everyone gets free shots at Joe Burrow. It's like, I mean, do you expect him to stay healthy? I mean,
No.
the NFL stands for not for long for him if he keeps having to play like this.
But
Yeah.
Sports
Quick
Talk,
question.
don't you feel
Go
kind of
ahead.
good as a Chiefs fan because you didn't have to pay Orlando Brown Jr. all that money, and meanwhile
I would have much rather have had Orlando Brown Jr. than Juwan Howard. 100%. 100%. Or Donovan Smith. They're both trash. They're both Brazilian.
Wow.
I call them our Brazilian
Wow.
jiu-jitsu tackles because all they do is hold on for your dear life, and they're just getting dragged along the way. They cannot block.
Quick question to the panel, real quick. This is my question. If they could not find the means to protect them, to protect Joe Burrow, do you see a scenario in the next 2 to 3 years where Joe Burrow does the exact same thing Carson Palmer does and say, hey, you either trade me or I'm retiring because I'm getting tired of getting my behind kicked on this field and trying to throw this ball from my back? Do you see a scenario where that happens?
Yeah, I see a scenario just like that. Like, you're the way you're marketing me, you're marketing me as if, like, I'm on the same level as Mahomes. I'm one of Mahomes' equals, right? Like, I've had 2 freak accidents playing for you guys. I had a torn ACL my rookie season, and I have a fucked up wrist. And I put my faith into you guys to help me to get the pieces that I need. And but the more I'm back here, the more that literally my health is at risk and my playing time is at risk. So yeah, I see a scenario where he's like, either trade me or I'm done because I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
At this point, why not?
Yeah.
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 It doesn't help that he's in the
PSP,
most
facts or
physical
cap?
division in all of football.
Facts or cap?
Bengals missing the playoffs?
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Unfortunately, that's a fact.
Yep.
I was hanging on for dear life because the Bengals, I mean, they were starting to turn it around. They were beating the 49ers. They were beating the Bills. They were starting to look like the Bengals last year. They cooled off in the start of the season, but as the season progressed, they were heating up. Now without Burrow, you're going to have to rely on Jake Browning. But it's going to be interesting to see because I was watching Players' Choice Wednesday night. Not you, Brandon. There was another dude by the name of Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon Katz. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mookie's
and
guy.
he said some crazy stuff about Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. He's right about Joe Burrow having more talent around him, but he totally loses me when he said Josh Allen doesn't need Stephon Diggs to be a top 5 quarterback.
Oh my
That's
fucking
okay.
god.
Oh man.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
And I'm like, dude, what
Did we
the
see
fuck
Josh
are you
Allen when
thinking?
he was throwing to fucking John Brown?
Yeah.
He was completing his first year, he was completing like 52, 53%. Second year, like 59%. The reason why Allen fell in the draft, the reason why he was 7th overall was because of the accuracy issues. If he had better accuracy coming out of college, he would have been the number 1 overall pick because he has the size. He's 6'5", 230, 240, cannon of an arm. Imagine if he had better accuracy coming out of college. He probably would have been number 1 overall. But with Burrow, it's unfortunate. To Sports Talk and Champ's point, the Bengals, they're going to waste away Joe Burrow's career, kind of like the Colts did with Andrew Luck. And that's going to be a travesty if that comes into fruition.
All right. Lewis, facts or cap?
No, it's facts. Even before Joe Burrow went down, they weren't making it. It just seems so out of sync. Like they had Joe Burrow play out there with a fucked up ankle. Like why not just let him rest until he came back? Like they're ruining him, and they want him to play injured and shit. That you're not protecting your quarterback.
Yeah. Brian.
Facts. Jake Browning hasn't been relevant since college.
Wow. Facts.
That is true, though, since 2016.
Yeah,
Harrison.
facts. This is facts.
Oh, okay. All right.
Y'all be flaming everyone and everyone, yo.
The next one we got, man. Hold on. Let me find. All right. The NFC West race is over, and the 49ers have won it. Facts or cap?
Cap.
It's too premature to tell at this point.
Cap.
That race. Brandon, are you saying that because of the Rams' victory against the Seattle yesterday?
No, I just want to see what y'all hear. What y'all think.
He's speaking on something.
No, I'm not speaking on something. I'm actually surprised Kenny's not here because we all know hot take Kenny.
Can you say it again?
Hot take Kenny.
Hot take Kenny.
Can you say the question again?
The NFC West race is over, and the 49ers have won it.
That's cap. If you would have said the NFC North, then yes. But NFC West, that's straight cap.
Okay. Yes, I mean, what's up?
I've been saying since before the year, I thought Seattle had a really good shot at it. Kind of like how Roundup was really high up on the Chargers. I was high on Seattle because I thought that the 49ers were going to have a slip like this. I still think I honestly think right now it's still 50-50. It's all going to come down to the second time they play each other. Really, that's about it.
Cause we play on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
So
the winner
at San Francisco or at Seattle?
I think it's at Seattle.
In Seattle.
It is Seattle.
Oh, you guys play each other twice. If you guys, if Seattle beats, I thought you guys already played each other, but if Seattle beats 49ers both times, it's going to be Seattle's division. And I honestly believe whoever probably, because y'all schedule the next.
I'm looking at
4 weeks is rough.
I'm looking at both your schedules. You guys are kind of identical.
Yeah, so for the Seahawks, I'm worried you guys are going to split because if you split, here's the thing: if you guys split, it's the 49ers. House rules wins. They've been ahead. They're going to get it if you guys split. Seattle wins both games. Y'all win the division, but you have to win both games. If you lose both games or split, it will go to the 49ers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Champ, facts or cat?
Hot take coming.
Hot take, Champ.
He gonna say Cardinals gonna come back and take it. What?
I'd rather slide down a razor blade into a pool of alcohol than say that.
What?
What the fuck?
What my down south said, don't worry about it. Cap. That's cap. I think it's gonna be neck and neck.
Okay. All right.
I got a better it's cap. It's cap. I got a better chance of hooking up with Megan Fox, so that's cap.
Wow.
Right. Depending on them.
Hey, Seattle has at least a chance. Seattle at least got some percentages in there.
Never mind. Let's keep this rated G.
I ain't Kenny. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Lewis.
Nah, it's cap. Roman got a better chance losing his belt before that shit happens, to be honest. I think it's cap. Your schedules are just too identical in the second half.
Fact. Facts. Broad, you said Cap, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Harrison, facts or Cap?
It's Cap. No, yeah, it's Cap. Sorry, I had a moment.
All right, man. This could be the last one. The Browns defense is still good enough to get them into the playoffs. Facts or Cap?
Facts. 100%.
I might hear with that.
100% they can.
I might join you.
And it's
on
because
that.
of how good they're doing against their own division. Their own division is the best in football, and they're holding everyone in their division low. Now, is that saying that much against Pittsburgh? No, not really. But when you're talking about teams like Baltimore, yeah, I mean, and now that Cincinnati's out of the race, I mean, we all think Cincinnati's out of the race. Absolutely opens the door.
Okay, Champ.
Possible.
Fact.
Oh,
Their defense is going to carry them to the playoffs.
Okay.
And if that happens, Myles Garrett has to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I think he's running away with it right now anyway.
Yeah, he
mean,
is running with it.
I get it because they're winning games, but if we're keeping it 100, Max Crosby's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all, we're sitting here talking about Myles Garrett, like, and we talk about Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons and TJ Watt. Max Crosby is arguably right now number 2, like above TJ, above Nick, above Micah, whoever else you want to throw in that
Max been
combo.
balling.
It's like the numbers right now say it's Max Crosby. It actually says it's Max Crosby by a pretty wide margin. But when you watch the game and you understand the impact of what Myles Garrett does for that defense, it's kind of like when you look at Chris Jones last year for the Chiefs. It was like his numbers might not be on par with some of the the guys that are in the race, but when you understand his impact to that defense and the eye test, you understand why he should be higher up in that convo. That's the same thing for Max Crosby. But the one point where when he got paid, the big question was like, is he a Kemba Walker? Is he a Kevin Love in Minnesota? Is he just a really good player on a really bad defense, therefore it makes him look glorified? Or is he really that dude? No, he's that guy.
No,
I mean, he's him. He's probably right now the second best edge rusher in football.
The only reason why I don't think he'll get a sports talk, it's not because of the things that you said, which are on point. I just think because of the record, and because I think they're going to hold that against him.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
You can make a compelling argument for Max Crosby.
And that's what I said at the beginning. Because of the record, Myles Garrett is going to be in that conversation. The Raiders aren't going to finish with that good of a record. And like I said earlier about the whole CJ Stroud thing, in the MVP, it's like there's an asterisk that says you have to be part of the best defense or you have to be part of the best team when it's a team sport. And these are individual awards.
Right.
So we're not grading this according to the individual. We're recording this on we're looking at this on how that the team performs, and we look at the best individual on that team.
Right.
I think that's a flawed way to look at it.
And I also think too, because of what Trent alluded
Harrison
to, he talked about how Myles Garrett is being constantly double teamed, and he's still his impact.
So is Max Crosby. Max Crosby's right there.
All right. Lewis, what's your thoughts?
So what was the question again?
Facts or Cap? Dang.
Oh, Browns.
The Browns.
Good enough to carry
The Browns. Still good.
I'm with Broad on this one. I'm like teetering because I'm not stupid. That defense is good enough to take them to the playoffs. I just think that offense is going to dig them in such a big hole that not even the defense can get them out of it.
I think if they had Nick Chubb still, we'd be having a different conversation.
Yeah, a whole different conversation.
If it was Nick Chubb still there,
I
think everyone would say yes.
Yeah.
And even without Deshaun Watson, because I already done told everybody Deshaun Watson, don't expect much, right? So,
hey Champ, let me ask you this question because you mentioned this dude. You think if Baker Mayfield would be playing on this Browns roster, they'd be making the playoffs?
Yeah, they would. Unquestionably.
They would.
Yeah, my thing is it happened. This injury for Deshaun Watson happened at one of the most inopportunistic times because everybody, including the media, was saying a week ago that was the best. His last game that he led the team down the field in order to kick the game-winning field goal, that was the best he had ever looked in a long, long time.
Yeah.
So with that injury comes the question: were we about to see the 2019, 2020 Deshaun Watson, or was that just a flash of what we, or was that just a flash? And we were not going to see that anymore. So that happened, and not only a very, very bad time for the Browns, but also an inopportunistic time for Deshaun Watson as well, because gotta ask yourself this: if he had not broke his shoulder, were we about to see vintage Deshaun Watson? Because that game was the best he had ever looked in the last 2 years.
No.
So
I don't think so.
This
I just don't think it'd be consistent enough.
This looks horrible on the Browns because like you're paying this man over $200 million. You traded away your other franchise quarterback, and then this man not only was last season this season hurt. Like now he's out, so it looks incredibly bad for them.
No, this is poetic justice. I mean, this is what they get. I mean, they deserve this. They deserve every bit of what happens to them. You trade your former number one guy who was the embodiment of your franchise, and he gets hurt. He doesn't play that well. He plays through his injury. You get rid of him to get a guy who hadn't played in almost 2 years, had more charges than he did yards on the field for almost 2 years. And yet now you're like, oh man, how could this have ever gone wrong? Really? You got him knowing he was going to get half a year suspended.
He's out of shape. Out of shape.
And also, too, you talk about Baker Mayfield, champ. The Browns said they wanted an adult
in the building. I knew you was about to say.
But meanwhile, you bring in Deshaun, given all the off-the-field issues that he was dealing with at the time. So my thing is, if you're Cleveland, I think the defense will play well enough to compete. You're going to have to add a DTR. I mean, can he step it up for a couple of games? It would be more compelling if they had Nick Chubb. If Nick Chubb were healthy, they would absolutely have a chance because of what he can do as far as running the football. But it's going to be tough for Cleveland, but that's on them at the end of the day.
Exactly. It's not typical of Cleveland, a typical Cleveland type of thing. They make a big free agent splash, a big trade, and it doesn't pan out. I mean, look at the history of them making huge trades.
I didn't think it was a big splash in the moment. Like I don't think it wasn't even that big of a splash in the moment. It was kind of like the whole Rudy Gobert trade. It was like, how could this ever go wrong? You're gonna give up everything for this? Really?
The numbers for Deshaun Watson. I showed them on the podcast. In 12 games, he has a passer rating of 81.7, a completion percentage of 59.8, 14 touchdown passes to only 9 interceptions in 12 games.
How many touchdown passes again?
14, 7 when he suffered the 11-game suspension in 2022, and this season with 7. And to Champ's point, if any quarterback who got paid that type of money play like this, what would we be saying?
We'd be doing what we did to Russell Wilson last year. Absolutely
frying
him.
And this year. It wasn't just last year. It was this year, too.
Yeah, the first, 6 games of the year?
Yeah, we was
frying Russell Wilson on the back burner.
Killing him. Talking about he bottom 5.
Frying the franchise.
We was frying him like on Sunday, man. So.
Yeah, facts, man. Barad, facts or cap, Browns with that defense will lead their team to the playoffs.
I'm like here with it because, like you said, Nick Chubb was healthy. This would be a totally different conversation. And Sports Talk, you made a valid point about their play within the division, but they only have one more division game, and that's at Cincinnati Week 18, where it's not necessarily relevant.
I think that's a W.
They still have the Broncos. They still have the Jaguars. They still have the Texans. So we'll just have to wait.
Yeah, for sure. Harrison.
I'm here. I'm really right here. I mean, I don't trust.
Man,
I just
leave Sports Talk alone with that picture, man. Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Okay, hold on. My bad. Hold on. Let me.
What video was that from, Harrison?
Speaking of which, where is he? Is he hiding?
It's okay. We got him. We got him.
PSP, you want him every week? Dang. You want him every week, don't you?
It seems like to me, whenever he wins, the team wins, he has no problem getting on. But when they lose, we don't see him.
He can't shout.
You know what happened to me yesterday. against the Giants.
Yeah. Y'all
We
lost
finally ran the football
Tommy,
more, and we gave up 6 turnovers in that game, and we lost.
losing to
when
Tommy
you lose on a game-winning
DeVito is
field goal.
crazy.
Danny DeVito.
Tommy
Did you
DeVito.
say?
Tommy DeVito is crazy.
Did you
Losing
just say
to Tommy
DeVito?
Oh,
Did you say DeVito?
Danny
Hey,
DeVito.
DeVito, whatever you want to call his name, whatever his name.
You better
I don't know.
clip that mispronunciation. You
I
better.
don't care if it was Tommy DeVito, Danny DeVito,
Man,
Don
how do
Vito.
you lose to
I
Tommy
keep calling him
DeVito?
Danny.
Brandon, I don't care if it was Tommy DeVito, Danny DeVito, Don Vito.
Robert
The
De
fact of the
Niro.
matter is we lost.
Yeah.
And y'all, we keep talking about Brandon Staley. Ron Rivera, at some point in time, should he be fired now?
Yes.
Because even
I
though I
think
would
in
love to
his,
see him get
He
fired,
is the NFC Brandon
Brandon
Staley.
yes.
Oh, we've
But if
been
I-
saying this for a
I've
year.
been saying it.
I
We've
think
been
it's
saying
gonna-
this for over a year, bro. He is him,
No.
Mike McCarthy, Brandon Staley. I don't understand how your time management at end of games can be so bad year
Trash.
after year after year.
Oh,
Ron Rivera is going for 4th down on their own side of the 50 constantly, just trying to give the game away.
Right.
Brandon Staley, the only reason it works for him is because Justin Herbert bails his ass out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But no,
PSP
I think
could-
nothing else is funnier than
could-
Commanders fans I know. The fact that they were freaking out, not because they got swept by the Giants, they were freaking out like, did we really just lose to a quarterback that still lives with his parents?
PSP, I have a question.
Yes.
So in the event you guys do fire Ron Rivera, are you guys finally the team that pulls the trigger on EB and finally makes him head coach?
Probably
Yes.
No.
They
Here's
should,
no.
but
Here's
no
here's
way.
here's why. Here's why.
God damn it.
No. Here's why.
God
Here's why. Here's why.
damn
Here's
it.
why. Hold on.
Go ahead.
There have been reports, and I hate. There are reports that they're
Don't say Bill
possibly thinking
Belichick.
in bringing in Bill Belichick.
Fucking
Me
A.
personally,
no.
Me personally, no. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me
ahead.
finish. Let me finish.
Let him
Do
cook.
I want Bill Belichick on my team? Hell no. Him coming on to the Commanders is like Phil Jackson to the New York Knicks. Now, there's going to be some Commanders fans that are going to be blinded because they look at, well, Bill Belichick, greatest head coach of all time, greatest defensive mind, 6-time Super Bowl champion. But like Phil Jackson, he hasn't gotten ahead with the times. He's going to incorporate a strategy the Patriots way. And that's not going to work in Washington. Okay, we saw Josh McDaniels. We saw Romeo Crennel. We saw Matt Patricia. We saw Joe Judge. We've seen other coaches that have come from the Belichick coaching tree that didn't work out.
Although I think, as much as I don't want to say this, I think Belichick and Bieniemy actually mesh very well together.
They won't.
They're
'cause-
very.
But don't you
old
think he's
school.
going to fire
Bieniemy's an
AB
asshole,
and hire
bro.
Josh McDaniels and Bill O'Brien? He may do that.
I don't think
He's probably.
EB's his
You're not
style.
only asking Bill Belichick to be the head coach. Bill Belichick wants final say with the 53-man roster and the coaching staff. And if he lets go of Eric Bieniemy and moves on with Josh McDaniels or Bill O'Brien,
No,
then
I'm saying if
not-
if in the event that he were to stick around and keep Bieniemy, I'm saying in this scenario, if he gets rid of Bieniemy, he's a moron. But if he goes there, you have him for defense, which Washington's defense has been lacking, and then you have
Yes.
the offensive production that they've been getting. That's a perfect mesh, and their coaching styles mesh very well. They are both assholes. They are not pleasant dudes to be around. You do not want to bring your family to their Thanksgiving dinner. Absolutely not. Bieniemy and Belichick. Well, I would want to see Bieniemy become the head coach because, I mean, why not? I mean, at this point, it'd be like there's nothing to lose. I mean, you're probably not going to make the playoffs anyway. At worst,
you're not. And
you get a better
you look
pick.
at their next 6 games, Sports Talk. Not to interrupt you, but their next 6 games, you got the Cowboys Thanksgiving, right? They're going to lose that one. Then you got the Dolphins. They're going to lose that one. Then they got the Rams. We saw them beat the Seahawks. They could lose that one. They got the Jets. Maybe there's a chance with the Jets. Who knows? And then your last 2 games are at home against the 49ers and the Cowboys. You could beat the Cowboys because of the rivalry, and last year you did beat them at your home. Yes, Belichick and Bieniemy, but here's the thing. Don't be surprised if he brings in Josh McDaniels or Bill O'Brien. And we talk about how Mac Jones is. You and I, Sports Talk, we agree. Mac Jones may not be the best quarterback in the world, but we believe he would be better in better circumstances.
100%.
What do you think
100%.
he's going to do to Sam Howell? If he diminishes Sam Howell's progression, that will be an indictment on Bill Belichick. And Champ and I, we've had this conversation with EB. Champ is correct from the standpoint that EB is just trying to do as much as he can to be a head coach, which is why I keep saying you got to run the ball more with Brian Robinson and also Antonio Gibson. I would like to see EB be the head coach. But if we fire Ron Rivera right now, I feel like I'm setting EB up for failure. He may never get a head coaching job. He may never.
Here's the thing, though. Washington's already given up on their year. You guys have already given up. You traded away Chase Young and Montez.
But that was going to happen
for
because
a
free
few bags of
agency,
chips.
and we weren't going to pay them.
No, I know, but that's the thing is that you guys already sold the house. So at this point, it's like, why not just bring up Bieniemy anyways? Because obviously defense isn't what you guys care about. So might as well throw all your chips into offense and give Bieniemy the shot. Because at worst, it doesn't work out, and you move on, and the experiment's over.
I mean, you at least got some picks though for the future.
We got picks, but here's the thing, though.
Harrison's so out of the screen, yo.
Here's the thing.
I didn't say my facts are cap, but like, I like back when I was saying about the facts or caps. I don't like DTR. I don't like him whatsoever. I think I'd rather see, I talked to PSB about it. Like, I'd rather see Joe Flacco being.
God,
they signed him.
Starting quarterback. I think Joe Flacco.
Brown signed him.
Yeah,
I think Joe Flacco, because we saw him with the Jets. He had like 3 touchdowns against Cleveland. I think if I'm not mistaken. I think
yes, they came back and they won that game. Believe it or not, Harrison.
What's tough?
Exactly. So basically, I think.
Oh man. I
will say facts for now, but if Joe Flacco was the starting quarterback for the Browns, I'll take him.
But if there's a team that should strongly consider Eric Bieniemy, that should be the Chargers.
Wait, I don't know what they.
No, Brandon, if there's a team that should strongly consider EB as a coach, you could look at the Chargers. EB offensive mind. This is the best quarterback that he's had to work with since Herbert.
Yeah.
Why not? You're done with Staley. Would I like to see EB as the head coach in Washington? But Ron Rivera, remember, he opened his mouth in a press conference saying that there were players that were a little too concerned about Bieniemy's intensity. I'm like, look, I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, the man is doing what he can to help us be productive and help us turn from the laughable joke, the clown show that we've been since the Dan Snyder days. Why not try into a different way? Yes, would I like Bill Belichick as far as defense, sports talk? Yes, because if you look at our team defense, we're like dead last in the NFL, and we're dead last as far as pass defense. So, yes, I would love to see Belichick there as far as defense, but he's going to incorporate the Patriots way. And we've seen that with other head coaches, and that hasn't worked out so far. So that's why I'm very concerned about.
Yeah.
Hey, PSP, let me ask you something.
Yes.
If y'all do bring in Bill Belichick, in order for him not to take over as far as personnel is concerned, would you consider bringing out Bill Polian out of retirement and see if they can develop a rapport in order to develop personnel decisions? Do you see that happening if you're a Washington owner?
I think so. I mean, we're possibly done with Martin Mayhew. We may look at the assistant general manager of the Cleveland Browns. We could take a shot at that, but I wouldn't mind Bill Polian. I'm down for whatever shit. I mean, y'all know I had to go through 24 years of hell with Daniel Snyder, so I'm willing for anything.
I had to deal with
tired at this point. You just tired. You just want something.
2 dudes don't know jack shit about football. A guy who's the richest bastard ever.
Like, everyone's talking about Bill Belichick to Washington, Bill Belichick with all these other places. I just don't get the appeal anymore.
Is it because he's he's near the DC area?
Yeah, he's from Baltimore, but
and because Josh Harris, the owner, he has ties with the Patriots, Robert Kraft, so that kind of relationship and stuff like that.
The thing is, like, Bill Belichick, minus like the deep, or how am I going to phrase this? Like, no one really talks about like Bill Belichick besides like his defensive mindedness. No one really talks about his offense. And like his coaching tree absolutely sucks. His coaching tree is not good. It like Mike Holmgren arguably has the best coaching tree, which includes Andy Reid and Gruden, and even Andy Reid's coaching tree is significantly better than Belichick's coaching tree.
It's not. We're not questioning Bill Belichick as a coach. I think people get this misconstrued. Him as a coach is still phenomenal and has been phenomenal. It's him as a GM. He is awful as a GM.
Same with Jerry
Jones as a coach.
Terrible.
And that's where people get this misconstrued. Is because of what he's done as a GM, it hurts him as a coach. But as a coach, he produces well above the expectation. He always has.
But do you think him as a coach has hurt considering Brady's departure?
Yes, 100% yes.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I think it's stupid to compare it because at the same time, you knew that team wasn't going to be any good. They were already on the decline. So you take out the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Yeah, it's going to get worse. And Brady went to an absolutely loaded Buccaneers team and won a Super Bowl his first year.
They brought in more weapons to that team.
It's going to look worse for Belichick. Brady got to choose where he went to and went to the team that all they needed was a quarterback. Belichick still has to continue with that same roster.
Yeah, that is true though.
All right, y'all, man. That includes the end of the show, man. Any last words before we head out, y'all?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead, Broad.
So Sports Talk, good night or good luck tonight, brother. But happy Thanksgiving to all y'all.
Yeah,
Brandon, I hope that the Cats and the Tar Heels play each other in Atlantis. I really do.
Yes.
Duke still fucking sucks, but
I didn't ask. I didn't ask. I literally didn't ask.
Go Birds, go Cats. Mikal Bridges, the GOAT, got retired. Got his jersey retired against Maryland back on Friday, so congrats to him. But you already know what we're doing, baby.
Yes,
Duke on top. Villanova sucks. Michigan sucks.
Win a national championship, and we'll talk.
That's
Y'all
great.
haven't won the Natty in 8 years.
Sports Talk. Shout out to Pacheco, man. Pacheco going crazy right now. Sports Talk. Go ahead.
Hey, the takes are coming to fruition, Brandon.
The
farther along we go, along we go, man. Man.
The AJ Browns too.
AJ Browns, Cincinnati. I mean, I got more than 10. Oh man, I'm just saying. If you want to win in Vegas, you take my picks, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. AJ Brown's top 5. I'm pushing the narrative.
What's up?
No. I'm saying that's what he reminded me about. Yeah, I knew seeing Sports Talk reminded me about something because you posted a clip of him saying AJ Brown, like, production matters and shit, right? And Trent was up here saying that you agree too that Tyreek Hill isn't better than Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, and
I think Tyreek Hill is better than Stephon Diggs.
No. What I'm saying, you was in the clip too. Trent said Tyreek Hill wasn't better than them because they had better hands and better route running. I was going on record and saying talent and production are like on the same level. What good is your talent if you're not producing, right? Tyreek Hill doesn't need great hands or great route running to do what he's doing. Like the speed is all that he fucking needs. So when you said AJ Brown, like him producing, like we got to put him in these top 5 combos, I was saying the same shit about Tyreek Hill. Why can't he be considered the best wide receiver in the league? Because he doesn't have. Why can't he be considered?
It's not even his route running. It's more hands.
His hands. But believe me, what you said about AJ Brown, I've been saying about Tyreek Hill. Like, why can't he be considered the best in the league, yo?
Yeah.
Which is why I asked Sports Talk, is Kirk Cousins better than Dak Prescott? And Sports Talk was like, yes, because even though Dak is a more mobile athlete, Kirk Cousins is just a better passer and puts up better numbers.
Yeah, Jabari went crazy, man. Champ.
Oh, I just got one thing to say. One thing only. Not one, not two, but 3. It's coming. Sports talk. See y'all in the playoffs, baby. See y'all in the playoffs, baby.
Hey,
Atlanta ain't making it to the playoffs. You think you making it to the Super Bowl?
I'm talking about the
college
Bulldogs,
football.
baby.
You talking about college?
College. Not one, not two.
Talk about Georgia.
3-peat.
Who's that coming?
It's the bean machine in the red and black. Red and black. See y'all in the playoff sports talk. We're gonna kill y'all again this year.
Man, I can't wait for y'all
sure.
to drop the ball.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I can't be upset about
Lewis,
football like y'all,
since
man.
this is your first time on the show, you want to put your socials out there?
Yeah, yeah, I do cartoon content, Lewis Knows Tunes, and then I do wrestling content, Lewis Knows Wrestling. I'm watching the UConn game right now. I'm from CT, so watching my boys beat the shit out of Texas. Hey, love you too.
Fuck you.
But go fins up, go Heat, go UConn. College football has been asked for me since I was born, so I don't know why I watch UConn anymore, but yeah.
Oh man.
We gotta get you for wrestling content. We gotta get you for wrestling
content,
Louis.
Hit me up.
Oh yeah,
man,
wrestling.
Hit me up whenever.
Yeah.
If anyone,
matter of fact, Lewis, you got Instagram?
I don't have IG.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Brandon, you can clip this. So the people that say college football is better than the NFL football, one, how does it? I mean, do you just enjoy being wrong, or were you just born stupid? I don't know what to tell you. If Ohio State and Michigan, a regular season game, averages more views every year than your national championship, then stop talking about it being better than the Super Bowl, which is practically a national holiday. Like, let's just stop with the comparisons. No one wants to watch UConn play Clemson. No one.
I don't want to see that either.
But yeah,
man.
I wanted to watch Houston play the Cardinals, two teams that were absolutely atrocious last year. Like, the comparison has to stop. Talent.
I mean, no one wants to watch.
I don't.
Penn State killed Delaware.
This is quality versus quantity.
But listen, man, like me being a
you only hear that argument down south. You only hear the argument down south that college is better than pro. You don't really hear that argument nowhere else. We kind of.
I'm sure if you're a Georgia fan, I'm sure you like college football right now better than.
The NFL. We can't cheer for the Falcons and the Braves gonna blow it, gonna give it up like chicken feed in the playoffs. So I mean, of course you're gonna say, "Hey, the team is on the verge of three."
I don't
boy Aaron Nola, but Nola's here to stay, baby.
I don't recall anybody besides me.
Baby.
See, I don't recall anybody besides me and like the three other UConn fans in this world talk about turn on this UConn game. And nobody want to see us play. We trash as fuck. Listen, we had one of the worst dropouts I've ever seen. Like last year, making the bowl game, I was like, man, I'm not saying we here, but we finally found our coach in Jim Mora. Then we fucking suck again. It's like, bro, I don't even know what to do anymore.
Hey, Jim Mora coached the Falcons. They should have showed you everything you needed to know.
Well, I'm waving the white flag, bro. I'm here.
Not even that. The college football's falling apart. Like, bro, we're watching the NCAA and the college football fall apart right before our very eyes. Pac-12 has two teams.
R.I.P. to Pac-12.
They got two teams next year.
It's gonna be ugly when Oregon leaves there. But PSP.
Some big news.
And don't
I'm reading from Pro Football.
Doing shit in the Big Ten, Brandon, because you're not.
Some big news that I'm reading right here from Pro Football Chase. Jets quarterback Tim Boyle will start this Friday's game against the Dolphins. So they're gonna start this one, and unfortunately for Champ, Falcons quarterback Desmond Ridder will start Sunday's game versus Saints. Smith said Ridder's benching was, quote, a reset and believes he'll be better for it.
Season over.
Yep, you ain't
cooked just like the
Bengals. Are you already on the fire Arthur Smith train?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but who that say gonna beat them
Saints? Oh man.
Not Champ. Champ ain't saying that. Champ ain't saying that.
Woo!
Yeah. Hey, Champ, you want me to bring you a bottle?
Not the 30 birds.
I'm trying to lay off the bottle. I'm gonna just stick with the Starbucks for now.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. For all the people here, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Till next time, I'll see y'all Wednesday, man, for the basketball show, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Till next time, peace.
Peace.